Hello, and welcome to the Confidence Academy podcast. My name is Lily Badcock, and I am a transformational confidence coach helping you to thrive in spite of anxiety. Each week, I will be sharing interviews with guest experts from around the world who have lived through their own experiences and who now help others to do the same. I will also be sharing the tangible steps you can take to start managing your own anxiety. It's my aim to reach as many people as possible with the message that no matter what you're going through, no matter what your struggle may be, there is hope and there is a way to create an amazing life for yourself. The incredible people I've been blessed to interview are walking, talking examples of how this is possible, and I truly hope you will find their stories inspiring, uplifting, and motivational. The conversations are very open and candid and occasionally may include some adult language, so please take care when listening around little ones or grab some headphones. This podcast series is brought to you in association with Lily Badcock Confidence Coaching, offering private and group coaching to help you thrive in spite of anxiety. If you're ready to ditch the stress and frustration of battling anxiety every day, why not visit www.lilybadcock.com to see how I can help. There are free resources available to download and start using straight away, plus the option to sign up for ongoing coaching if you wish. Before we dive in, don't forget to leave a review for us on iTunes and to check out the links in the podcast notes to the free resources we have available for you. But for now, let's get you on your way to living your epic life anxiety-free. Because remember, confidence is yours as soon as you choose it. Hello everyone, welcome back for another episode of the Confidence Academy podcast. And it's Tuesday, which means it's Let's Talk Tuesday, and more specifically, it's episode 3 of the Confident Mummy Diaries. So these diaries are nothing more than me simply sharing my newest, most recent journey into motherhood. For those of you joining me live on the Confidence Academy podcast Facebook group, you'll see that I have a little sleeping Sophia on my chest. And I'd like to say that this is a good representation of how she's been today, but it's not. So she's been really unsettled actually since last night. So I don't know if it's a growth spurt or what's going on, but she's just been a little bit grumpy. So she may well get grumpy throughout this broadcast, but hopefully not. And this is just me. It's going to be a really quick one. I'm just literally checking in. So ironically, I remember last week I did my broadcast in full makeup with all my hair straightened and I'd picked out an outfit. And today, I think, these are yesterday's clothes. There's not a scrap of makeup on my face. My hair is clean though, which is a bit of a win. But I did say that these diaries are supposed to be very real, very raw, and I was quite certain that there would come a time where I wouldn't have my makeup on and I wouldn't have my hair done, and you would just see me as it is, which is what you're seeing now. So I'm extremely tired, so it will be only a quick one, but I wanted to come on because I've made this commitment to do this every Tuesday, and it's a commitment to come to you no matter how I'm feeling, what's going on, like whether I feel like doing it or not. I feel like I want to do this, not just for you guys, so that you can see that you're not the only ones, but it's especially important for me as well, for reasons that I've stated before. But I basically feel like this is a really good way for me to be open and vocal about what's going on, so it can help others, but also so that I get to process it as well. So the theme that I wanted to talk about this week was the theme of still making sure that that there is time for you to do something that you love in amongst all the madness of looking after families and taking care of everyone else around you. And I always think that's a really tricky thing, because I think if you're struggling for time as it is, and if you're already feeling burnt out and stressed and overwhelmed, and you're trying to do all these 1,000,001 things, then it just seems like another thing to add to the list if you then think, oh God, now I've got to find time for myself. So I want to clarify a little bit what that means and how that shows up for me. So, in an ideal world, yes, we'd all be taking spa days and you quite often read in these articles, or you read like in some of the books or whatever, like, oh, why, why not get a friend over to watch your children so that you can have a nap or have a shower? But the truth is, like, we don't do that, do we? And if friends did come round, you would feel like you couldn't go and have a shower or go and have a nap. You'd feel like you'd have to look after them as well. So, for me personally, that advice never really, it never really resonated for me. It never really felt like something I was going to do. But I did really struggle with burnout, especially with my first two children. I really struggled with burnout, and I really struggled with the idea that it was okay for me to have time that was just for me. I really struggled with that. So how I see it now is, time for me is, it's literally just even a thought that is for me is enough. So I'm not putting my words together very well because I'm so tired. But what I mean by that is, as an example, I've decided, so Sophia's 4 weeks old today, and I've decided that I am going to get back on the fitness train really soon. Actually, one of my friends posted up in a group this week. We did a little running club. I think it was last year. It might have been the year before that, actually, where we would all meet up. We were all hopeless runners, by the way, so none of us were actually runners. But we wanted to get together, maybe a bit of power walking and kind of build up to running. And so that's all kicking off again for this year. And so I'm excited to do that. And, before I would have thought, oh, I can't do that because I can't leave my children, or I can't, take time for myself, or, I don't have the energy for that. But I've got a different mindset about it this time. To me, doing something for me means taking care of my body. It means, putting good food in and then backing that up with a bit of exercise as well. I also want to say that for me personally, it's a case of balance. So when I've done this before, I've gone kind of cold turkey. I've literally said, right, today I am back on my healthy eating fitness regime, and so I'm not going to touch anything. Like, I'm not having crisps, I'm not having chocolate, I'm not even having pre-packaged meals. And I would actually make it harder for myself when I did that, because it was like I was trying to change everything all at once. And when we try and make these massive changes in our lives, we then rebel against them. Actually, I did did I do an episode about this, or I wrote a post about this recently? Because there's a guy that's written a book about this, whose name escapes me right now, but I'll find it and I'll put it in the show notes. And it's all about taking these micro steps towards change, rather than trying to have this big blowout where everything changes overnight, because actually that isn't sustainable. And this guy found that there was actually evidence to support the fact that we will rebel against that if we try and do it, which explains why so many of us struggle when, if we do try and change our diet, or if we try and start an exercise regime, or anything like that. When we try and make it this massive change where everything looks completely different, we tend not to stick to it. So a great example of that would be New Year's resolutions, right? We all come into the new year with this brand new energy and this brand new idea of how we're going to live our life and what we're going to achieve. And by the end of January, we haven't done it. We feel like crap. We give up, and then we beat ourselves up for giving up. And we wait until the next year when we do it all again. So the idea behind this is more micro steps, like tiny, tiny, tiny shifts. So for example, I've decided that in an ideal world, obviously I would make all my meals from scratch, and I would buy fresh, and I'd prepare all my meals, and I would batch cook, and I am going to attempt to do that. I'm going to wait until the Easter holidays are over, because today has proven that that's just going to be very stressful for me. So I've decided that for now, if I have to buy a pre-packaged meal, I'll do it, but with it I will have a good pile of fresh vegetables. Maybe I won't have such a fatty pudding, I'll have a piece of fruit instead. It's these micro shifts, because I think that's far more sustainable. It makes me feel like I can actually do that, rather than this massive kind of overwhelming idea of, oh my God, I've got to change my whole eating habits and the times that I eat, and maybe what I'm giving my kids as well. And ultimately, while that ultimately might be the goal, overall, I think we shouldn't try and get the result just like that. It shouldn't be about, oh, okay, so I'm going to wake up tomorrow and suddenly I'm going to be, eating all this great stuff and at the right times and everything else. I just think these tiny, tiny steps, and if we add a tiny little step every day, add that up over a year. If you made one tiny, tiny change a day over 365 days, how different would your life be within a year? And you would be more likely to stick to that than if you tried to make that massive change all in one go. So I've kind of gone off topic straight away, but that's a really good point. And the topic I said I was going to talk about, which was finding time for yourself, does tie in, because for me, getting back to that healthy eating and getting back to that exercise, even if it's just me doing yoga for 10 minutes in my house, that is still me doing something that is for me. And by doing that, I am showing myself that I'm worthy, and that I'm worthy of that time, and that I'm worthy of that result as well. And that, even though I've had children, and even though I'm married, and even though I've got a business, and even though blah, 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 I still get to have some time for me. I still deserve that time for me, and it's okay to have that. So I guess my message for this episode is just find something that is just for you. Even if that just means putting on, I went for a walk the other day and I put some music on in my headphones because music makes me feel amazing. That is doing something for yourself. And it brings me to another point. I read something, I think it was only yesterday, a post that somebody wrote on Facebook, which was all about how we are so good at focusing on what we don't have yet. So, we set these goals and we say we want to change things, and then we spend the rest of our time picking holes in the things we haven't achieved yet. Whereas what we should be doing is focusing on what we have already achieved. So, okay, maybe today wasn't perfect, but I have a sleeping child now. My boys are in bed now. It's all ended up okay in the end. And actually, there was a lot about today that was really, really lovely. There was a lot about today that was challenging as well, and that was quite draining and quite tiring for lots of different reasons. My husband just started a new job today, and now he works 6 till 2. So he was up and out of the door before 6 this morning. So I've had all 3 children, myself today, and I've had my friend here, which has been wonderful, my best friend. But I know she won't always be here. And so, there were times today where I was like, oh my God, this is really overwhelming, this is really hard. But there were other lovely moments where, Freddie came up and gave me a cuddle. Or what was lovely was Sophia was crying earlier and I was trying to do another job. And so Freddie went and stroked her head to try and calm her down. It's those little moments like that. It would be so easy to overlook those and just be focused on, oh my God, look at all the stuff I didn't do yet. Look at everything I didn't achieve. Whereas I really took a moment and was very appreciative of that moment in time where my usually grouchy 5-year-old was consoling his then grouchy 4-week-old. And I just think, it's about that energy shift, isn't it? And it's about that perception shift as well. And if you can just take a moment and find something to be appreciative of, even if you're surrounded by a hot mess, it definitely will change your energy. And it stops you from believing that everything's crap, because we're so guilty of going, oh, everything's gone to rat shit, everything's hard. No, everything isn't hard. Maybe it's been a tricky day, but you can still find these beautiful moments. And so that's what I've tried to do today. So where I'm at right now, it's 9:10. I am heading to bed because this one seems to have finally fallen asleep. And the boys have gone quiet as well. So I'm going to go and get some rest. Again, something that's for me. I definitely need that. And I would encourage you guys to do the same thing. Whatever it is you need, whether it's sleep, whether it's a shower, whether it's a big block of cheese or a glass of wine or some chocolate, let's be good to ourselves and give ourselves what we need. And that advice is not exclusive for mummies or parents either. That advice goes to every single person out there. Start putting yourself first, even if it isn't all the time, just every now and then, even once a day, just check in and go, what do I need right now? What do I need to do for me? And then do that, even if it's only for a minute. Okay? So, thank you for joining me once again. I can see, actually, I'm just going to do a quick check because we did have a couple of comments. Oh, hi guys. Oh, I can see some people joining me. I can't see questions though, so that's fine. If you do have a question, as I said, you can post that below the video if you're watching the video on the replay, or just send me a private message and I will address that in the next broadcast. Before I forget, oh my goodness, I can't believe I nearly forgot to say this. Tomorrow is the launch. Thanks, Caroline. Tomorrow is the launch of the Confidence Academy. Oh my God! This thing, I've been working on this for years and years and years. So what is it? It's a membership site. So it's an ongoing support system. It's for ongoing coaching in a group setting online. But it kicks off tomorrow with a 12-week interactive program called Permission to Soar. So I am going to teach you everything I've learned about managing anxiety, overcoming confidence issues, rebuilding self-belief, or building self-belief if you never had it in the first place. This is everything that I've learned over the last 5 years since I went through this myself. And I'm so excited about it and a little bit nervous as well. In fact, I've still got a load of stuff to do. It's totally not ready, but done is better than perfect, hey? And this is like a long game. This is a project, as I said, I've been working on for a very, very, very long time. And the whole reason for me setting this up was when I realised what I was struggling with, I couldn't find anything that was particularly positive or uplifting to help me online. It was I could find a lot of people that were struggling in the same way, but it seemed to be a lot of people just swapping stories about how they were struggling. I couldn't find anything that was really empowered, that was really speaking to the part of me that knew there was a better way. There was always a part of me that knew it could be better and that knew I could overcome it. And I was trying to find something that would speak to that, and I couldn't find it, so I've created it. So that's what the Confidence Academy is. So I will pop a link below. If you haven't checked it out, go and have a look. Basically, if you struggle with low confidence, low self-esteem, if you're trying to rebuild your confidence, or if anxiety is calling more shots than you would like in your life right now and you want to get the control back, the Confidence Academy is for you. So go and click the link that I'm going to post below and have a look and see if it's for you. And please share it. If you know somebody who could use some ongoing support in this area, then go ahead and share the link with them too and let them know what's going on. So there we go. Thank you, Caroline. Caroline says, the Confidence Academy peeps have given me some amazing advice and got me through some trying times and helped guide me on a better path for me. Yes, so Caroline, so for those of you listening on the podcast, Caroline is currently watching this live in the Confidence Academy podcast Facebook group. Now that is actually free. So that's a free Facebook group that's associated with this podcast. And it isn't just me in there, I've got other coaches in there as well. We deal with things like nutrition, physical movement. I've got my hypnotherapist in there. We've got Rachel in there who's... She deals with like chakra healing, so we've got like the spiritual side covered as well. And these are all based on kind of the pillars that I focused on in my own healing journey. And I didn't know what I was doing at the time, but in hindsight I looked back and I realised that when I focused on putting better food in my body, when I focused on a bit of physical exercise, when I focused on doing the things I loved, like for me is singing as an example, when I took time to journal every day and set my mind right, and when I took time to really, allow my feelings to process as well, all of that combined is what I believe got me through and got me to this place now where I actually feel like I've overcome the anxiety, or at least I'm managing it really, really well. So if you want to check out the free Facebook group, there'll be a link for that as well. And if you want to check out the Confidence Academy, click the link and join us. I'm going to leave registration open all throughout April, and then registration will close until we open it back up again. And I'm not entirely sure when that will be, probably a bit later on this year. I would highly recommend getting in now, because this is super exciting. It's the very start. There are people already in the program waiting to begin, so we've already got a community building in there. The energy is really exciting, because everyone that comes into the Confidence Academy, like me, knows that there is a bit of hope. They know that there's more to the life that they're experiencing right now. And when we're all coming together, that energy is going to grow. It's going to be electric. So get yourself in there if that interests you. And there we have it. That's it. We're going to wrap it up. So thank you so much for joining me. I'm amazed that this child stayed asleep. This is the longest she's slept since yesterday. So please all say a prayer that she now stays asleep, and I at least get at least an hour or two of sleep would be amazing. Any more would be even better, obviously. So I'm sending you all loads and loads of love. Thank you for joining me live if you were here today, and hello on the replay if you're catching the replay later. And for those of you listening on the podcast, thank you for tuning in. I'm going to be back on Friday with another guest expert interview, as usual. If you have questions, please don't hesitate to get in touch. But in the meantime, remember, confidence is yours as soon as you choose it. Massive love. Bye-bye.